So in relationships now, here's the trigger warning. You ready? Hello, I'm Charlita. If this is your first time viewing my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. So today I wanted to talk about this topic of emotional discipline, or the lack rather of emotional discipline. So many of us are disciplined in other areas of our life, such as we eat right, we exercise, we take care of our health by keeping up with our annual appointments, we keep up with our physical appearance, we are good workers on the 9-to-5 job. However, when it comes to emotional discipline, that's kind of when we have a problem. As someone who is a work in progress around this issue, I personally know the consequences of not having emotional discipline. Also, in the line of work that I do, I have encountered several individuals that lack emotional discipline. On the job, emotional discipline, especially when you're in a leadership role, your team will lose confidence in you. You lose credibility on the job when you don't have emotional discipline. You will appear unstable, and often the plot will get lost. And what I mean by that is specifically, there was an incident that happened at my job between two individuals, and neither one of these individuals had emotional discipline. And what was so ironic, had they had emotional discipline, the situation would have never escalated, and me as a supervisor, I would not have even had to get involved in that situation. And when I say the plot got lost, I don't even know if what initially caused them to even have a conversation, it was concerning a patient. And I don't even know if that issue even got resolved, because the focus became between working out an issue between these two individuals as opposed to addressing the issue or the concern that the patient had. Also, on the job, a lack of emotional discipline will make you look weak and unprofessional. It will cloud your judgment in general. When you don't have emotional discipline, your judgment is clouded. And also, it will cause you to act irrational. So, in relationships now, here's the trigger warning. You ready? A woman that lacks emotional discipline will chase a man that no longer wants her. Why? Because lack of emotional discipline will cause you to refuse to accept when a relationship is over. Lack of emotional discipline in relationships will cause you to chase rather than attract. Why? Because you are operating from a place of scarcity. And I liken this to, have you ever interviewed for a job, and at that time that you were interviewing for this other position, you already had a job? And they always say it's easier to get a job when you have a job and harder to get a job when you don't. Why do you think that is? Well, the reason is because when you go on an interview and you already have a job, you're not although you may want this particular position, because obviously you wouldn't be looking and you're prepared to leave your current job. However, you're not operating out of a place of scarcity. You're not showing any desperation. You're relaxed, you're more comfortable, because in the back of your mind, you already know that, well, as much as I want this job, if I don't get it, it's no big deal because I still have a job. And it's kind of like I can always tell when as a supervisor, when I am interviewing a person, I can tell whether or not they really need this job or whether or not they already have a job. I can just tell before they even say it. I can tell by the energy that they're giving off. And so that's kind of the energy that you give off when you are operating from a place of scarcity, when you are chasing in general. You give off an energy of desperation. So your emotions will control you if you don't get them under control. They will control you when you do not have emotional discipline. I want to end this with a quote from Elizabeth Kuntz, and she is the CEO of Girls on the Run, which is a nonprofit youth development program. So I'm going to play that quote now. I was miserable on and off in my life till age 39, blaming outside things like my job or my relationship. And then it hit me. I am the leader of my life, and I can choose to believe what I want. It's such a simple idea, but it was a pivotal breakthrough. Now, whenever I have an anxious or negative thought, I use a technique that I learned from my love of gardening, one that I also teach to the girls I mentor. I think, is this thought a weed that is taking up space and needs to be plucked, or is it a flower that I need to tend and love and let thrive? I focus all my attention on the thoughts that are beautiful blooms and yank out the negative ones. So, on that note, I'm going to end this video here, but I want to just mention that I am someone who had to get therapy due to me needing assistance with working through my emotions and dealing with past traumas. So I hope that this was helpful to you. In some cases, you may need to actually talk to someone like I did, whether it be a therapist, a life coach. I still see my life coach actually to this day. But I really want to just know what you think of this video, if it was helpful to you. And let's continue this conversation below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.